does that even mean, Bowers getting the corner?
Well, hey there, YouTube. We're back again today for another Thoughts from the Corner. I'm here with my good friends Adam and Lucy.
Hey.
And today we're going to be talking about Cutthroat Caverns. So this was a game that came out 10 years ago from Smirk and Dagger Games, but now this is the anniversary edition of it. It's got really nice upgraded components, 3 to 6 players, 40, 60, or 90 minutes to play. It's for ages 14 plus. I'll give you a little bit of an elevator pitch of the game, but in Cutthroat Caverns, we are all going into a cavern and we're fighting bad guys. There's a whole plethora of different bad guys, which we'll talk about, that all have their own different asymmetrical little quirks. But the catch is you're trying to be the person to deal the killing blow on it. You want to be the camel that breaks the straw's back or flip that. And if you do that, you're going to gain points. You go through a certain number of these bosses, and whoever has the most points at the end of the game will win. But there's also player elimination in this, where you are going to be keeping track of your health, and you can and you will die, as we found out. So we played one game of this. So full disclosure there, this is just our initial thoughts on it, but who wants to start?
I'll go first. So I thought it was okay. It's there's a little bit of take that in it. I've never played this before. So there's a little bit of take that. There's cards that are kind of like bam, bam, bam. Yeah. So it's like, oh, you played that? I'm gonna play this on your face. And I did that to you right at the end. So I won the game. I enjoyed it to a point, but then like when Jimmy got knocked out and he was just kind of like sitting there, so it is player elimination.
I felt bad because like it was like
It was
so hard.
It was your fault.
It was.
Everyone worked against him in a way, unintentionally.
I think I might have been the hottest on this. I really like this game, and I think this is one I'm definitely going to keep in my collection, especially for when my son gets older. I think this is going to be a great family game as long as you can take that aspect of that. Yeah. I really like the asymmetrical nature of the different cards and how each game is going to be different because you're fighting monsters each time. And I think there's enough monsters that if you play this, maybe once a month or something like that, you're going to start forgetting these. Like, this is a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Let's keep
Well, especially, like, there was the one monster where it's like you wanted to not be the last one to kill it. So, like, the entire game, you're trying to keep the highest level cards that you got, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, try not to kill this guy. I thought that was really interesting. So yeah, the monsters are definitely going to bring a lot to it.
Monsters are different.
The werewolves were really fun. Yeah.
I like the gas one. The gas one was fun when it exploded. I like the one that killed Jimmy. I thought that was fun. Like, and as much as you want to say that player elimination was bad, I personally am a big proponent of player elimination because I think it heightens the sense of tension in games. It's one thing that I love about like werewolf games like that. And we knew that someone was going to die. Like, when we started reading cards, oh my god, someone's going to die. And I think this is one important point to mention. I don't think we're going to be joking about that for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
We made memories in this game just because Jimmy died, and the way Jimmy died, and the fact that I used him as a human shield.
Here's the thing, though. I think that if they didn't have that player elimination, and he just came back he lost all his, victory points, like...
Yeah, but
because to be honest, that last boss was kind of a big swing too. That's 9 points.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that was huge. The amount of points that they give later on in the game.
Well, we were also evenly distributed, point wise, somewhat.
Were we?
Up until that 9 points.
Oh, that's the thing because, if we ended up being like, oh, one person was way down. Like, that 9 points could have won them the game. I think that...
Like, even you were doing pretty bad until the end
because
of all those bonus points you're getting at the end from defeating the last monster.
I know, I did the last 2, yeah.
Yeah, and that like, we've been, like, winning, like, back and forth, but then all of a sudden you came back in, and, like, yeah, that 9 point swing would have won you the game if you'd gotten that monster. There's a bit of a swing, which is, I guess, also, like, a positive and a negative, depending on what you think. Because, like, on one hand, like, even if you're behind, you will always have a chance to come back.
You can. What you haven't said what you thought about the game. What'd you think, Lucy?
I liked it a lot. I like the player elimination. It is like a long one though. Like, heaven forbid, like, you get eliminated early because then you're just like gone for like at least like half an hour, maybe. Like, even Jimmy was gone and he like left at the end, near the end of the game, and he was gone for quite a bit.
I think he was maybe round 6. He died.
Yeah.
Out of 9, and that is one thing that I did want to mention. We played the 90-minute version of the game, which I felt like was a pretty brisk 90 minutes. Like, once you know the rules, I think you probably knocked this out in about an hour. But yeah, so you can play it with 4, 6, or 9, or different numbers of cards in there. So it could go shorter.
The cards were really well designed. That you just like
Yes.
turn them to add and subtract.
The components
or
are
to
really
multiply
good too. Just like
up
being
and
able to
down.
put your health down, and they have like all easy. Like it's all by 5s or 10s. No like 2 points. Like even like that one. Like remember when your attack was halved, and you're like, oh, my 5 turns into 2.5. Nope, it just goes down to 0.
Looks like they got room in the expansion for some extra cards. Not too much expansion-wise. But I know this game actually does have quite a few expansions, and I would definitely be interested in expansions. I think if you don't mind Take That games, because there is definitely that back and forth of the blue cards, but I thought it was fun. And I will say it's more strategic than your typical Take That game, because limiting your hand size is a big deal. And when you use those blue cards, you are limiting your hand size, and you might not be sure how long that's going to affect you. Like, you don't want to use those blue cards earlier on, because if you use 1 or 2 of those cards and it gets, third or fourth combat round, you're going to be down some cards.
Oh yeah, like I remember like one time you were like eliminating like all my attacks and just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll play these 2 cards. Nope, I'll play this card. Nope. I'm like, okay, well, my hand is now 3.
I drew both of those at the same time.
So upsetting, but it was a fun game. Now I like it. Like this is like probably like one of like the more engaging Take That games. Because usually Take That games are just like read a card, play a card, read a card, play a card. And this has that kind of element, but like again with the monsters being so variable, like you have like different strategies each turn. Like that one with like the hate monster. It's like, okay, what we put in is what we have to deal with.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And what was funny was Jimmy was the one that was like, "You guys don't understand how this monster works," and then he was the one that got killed.
Because he used him as a human shield. He used
I really should have blocked it. And that's another thing, too, where if someone does get eliminated early, they specifically mention the rules, you're probably going to lose the game. Like, if Jimmy would have got knocked out in, like, the second round, I don't think we would have survived.
Oh, no. Like, there was that one monster where we, like, nobody, like, we were doing, like, 10 damage each round because no one
I
did
didn't
the
have
highest
any cards.
damage.
I had 5 blue cards. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I drew 3 of them at once.
Ooh. Yeah.
So that is Cutthroat Caverns, the anniversary edition from Smirk and Dagger Games. I know you and I are big fans of it.
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I'd play it again for sure.
Yeah, I think this one is definitely staying in my collection. I look forward to checking out more of it, and I think I could probably teach this to the kids in my class, too.
Oh, yeah.
But there you go. Cutthroat Caverns. If it looks like it might be your cup of tea, be sure to check that one out. If you're enjoying what we're doing, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below.
Sponsor button.
If you want to support the channel, consider supporting the Patreon down below, or click on the little Amazon associate links. Buy anything on Amazon. Throw a couple pages my way. And in the comments below, let me know, when was the last time that you killed something? Anything.
Spider this morning.
Man, this afternoon.
This afternoon.
July
Jimmy
16th,
just now.
1982.
Jimmy just...
Yeah, probably some bug somewhere. I
Yeah,
don't know. Nothing real interesting.
that is a good point. I did kill Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I killed Jimmy. Let me know in the comments below. It's the last thing you killed. As always, thanks for your time, YouTube.